It's been a whirlwind.
It's been a big whirlwind.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great. I am equally terrified and excited of all the things that lay ahead of me, or possibly lay ahead of me. And I am, currently adjusting to a new fall season for me.
A new fall season.
A new fall.
What are you going to do? Like, what do you have lined up for yourself?
It's actually really exciting for me. There was a couple of projects that I was a part of in the off season that now I can really focus on more. There is actually 2 shows that I was a part of, one called The Storm and one Esther, and both are trying to get to Broadway in the next couple of years. And they are just so wonderful, and the fact that I'm even asked to be their lead is an honour. And we did our showcase, a first showcase for both of them, and they went really, really well. Esther is a beautiful story taken from the Bible, but very much about a female empowerment. This woman who becomes queen, loses herself in it a little bit, and then finds what to do with it and how to create something positive. And I think it's such a story we want now, and something I resonate with.
I was going to say, that reminds me of you.
I so resonate with that, with being a country girl that fell into Hollywood and then had to figure that out and now wants to do good with it. So that feels right for me, and it's so unique in its concept, where I'm dancing and I'm acting through movement, but there are singers that are my voice, and it's all done through song, and the writing of the music is just phenomenal. It really hits you in the heartstrings. So that's Esther. We are currently still bringing in all the funding so we can get it to go to the next stage, and it's really beautiful and exciting. And the other one is The Storm, where I am singing, dancing, and acting. All 3 of them.
Triple threat.
Triple threat. I made my singing debut in July or August this year, and that was wonderful and terrifying, but epic at the same time.
Has acting always been on that bucket list for you?
Oh, God, yeah. I love acting. I mean, I'm a storyteller.
Yes.
You see me even with dance. It's the things that I love to create the most, and I've been in acting for quite a while now, and that's the other thing that I can really dive into and commit to being in class and working on projects and getting out to auditions and really diving into that part of my passion now, which is really kind of epic for me.
So when one door closes, several doors open.
So it seemed.
Yeah.
I got the really super sad phone call that was is this real life moment for me. I was driving on the freeway on my way to a meeting, and I was chatting with our executive producer, and I could hear it the minute he got on the phone in his voice. I was like...
When was this compared to when the announcement came?
A day or 2 before we were supposed to start rehearsal. I believe it was the Friday, but it may have been the Thursday. It was the same day that Artem got the phone call. We were within an hour of each other, and we were supposed to go into rehearsals for GMA, because I too was getting the texts about be ready for this and the whatnot. I came back early from a retreat in Sedona just to make sure that I was ready to do things, and they got moved, but that happens.
Wait,
right?
So up until this point, though, you really thought, I'm going to be on this season. You were excited. I remember you told me I'm going for back-to-back.
Absolutely.
Mirror balls. Yeah. Okay.
That was still the plan until this phone call happened. And I spoke to Andrew, our executive producer, and again, I could hear it in his voice from the minute the phone call started, and my adrenaline spiked. I'm driving on the freeway, and I was like, I need to pull over because I can't focus right now. And so I pulled over, and he let me know that they love me. I'm very much a part of the family of Dancing with the Stars, but they couldn't partner me up with a partner this season. And
what'd you say when he said that?
I honestly was in shell shock. I was still trying to process. It was a real am I dreaming moment, because it was such a shock to me. There was no hint that this would be the case. And there never is, by the way. We all go through the same thing every season. We don't know if we're back until we get that pickup letter. And I've been sitting pretty comfortable for a while. And, maybe...
Well, you're a fan favorite. I mean, truly a fan favorite.
I thank you. We have incredible fans. I think we have a lot of fan favorites on the show, and it's still a beautiful, wonderful cast. But it was a very surprising phone call for me. But at the same time, I got off that phone call and I was very sad, and I had to process, take a few minutes, get back on the freeway and go to this meeting. And I walked into this meeting with someone I'm actually developing another show concept with, and then who also said, awesome, I have 2 other shows that I want to talk to you about. And I was like, okay, universe, I hear you. There are some other things that I need to try right now. You're opening up space for me to do this. I wouldn't have had these opportunities had I have not had the last 8.5 years with this beautiful show, Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
Okay, I'm ready. I've been challenged. The universe said, put your money where your mouth is. Now let's go do the things you talk about. So, okay.
Yeah. Did they ever give you any sort of reason?
Honestly, no. Not beyond we couldn't partner you up this season. And what's tough about hearing that is I've danced with everyone from Andy Dick to Bobby Bones to a Backstreet Boy. There is no type.
Right.
So, and it has nothing to do with height, and it has nothing to do with anything. So for whatever reason, the people in the room that decide who's on the cast felt that I wasn't what they wanted for this version of the show. And that's okay. Right? Because the team in there has changed. Mm-hmm. Not everybody can love you. Not everybody's going to vibe with you. Maybe they don't want a redhead this season. You know? There's 3 blondes and 3 brunettes, I think. Maybe I stick out like a sore thumb and they don't want that. Or maybe it's that my choreography they kind of got bored with. Who knows? And it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm never going to know the real reason behind it, and it's, to be honest, irrelevant. It's happened. I'm here. I've been given an opportunity of 12 months of other adventures.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen next year, whether they want me back or they don't, or is this the end? I have honestly no idea. That's their call. Have
you talked to them about possibly coming back for next season? Do you have a bad taste in your mouth after all of this?
I definitely don't have a bad taste, but I am sad.
Yeah.
I am sad that if, hypothetically, this was my last season with Bobby, wow, what a wonderful way to go out and having one with him and the friend that I made in him too. But not having the opportunity to know that it was my last season, or after so long going on my own terms, and being able to go around to all of our crew members and all of our camera guys and everybody in wardrobe, everyone who the last 8.5 years has been my family, has wrangled me when needed to, has helped me understand, learn over these years, and together we've created this beautiful show. Mm-hmm. I have so much gratitude for every single person, with even the follow spot up in the rafters. You know, they help you see my face. You know, without everybody in that room, we don't get to make that show. And so I would have loved that chance to know, and you know, when you just savor every moment, if you know that it's going to be the last of it. That I wish I had a little bit.
And I think you deserve that. And I think people are mostly shocked because you are the reigning champ. Like, you
That is wild. I'm not going to... That is wild. But yeah, I don't have an answer for that part.
What did Bobby say? Because Bobby told us that he called the show to make sure it wasn't his faults. And I know he always gives good advice. He's a good guy. What have you guys talked about?
He's an amazing guy. Yeah. Honestly, it's... He did call them. When we briefly spoke, it was like, honestly, I was at a bit of a loss. I don't know. I'm hearing these things. I'm hearing those things. But that's also what I was just seeing on social media, you know. And there's still a train of people that are wild about the fact that Bobby and I won and that we broke the show and we're the reason that there's no spring season.
Which is not true. People love Bobby Bones and people love you. And he had an incredible journey because of you.
I mean, because of us, you know, and my storytelling with him and what we did. And it was a great season. But also what I know from chatting with Bobby is they used his win to recruit 3 of the celebrities this season. Lauren Elena, and there was 2 others to now show you don't have to be a dancer to be on this show. Right. Because that really was stopping, I think, a lot of celebrities from wanting to do it. Because if you're not a gymnast, you're not an athlete, and you don't have dance ability, why bother doing it? You'll be humiliated.
Exactly.
So I think it's a beautiful thing that was able to happen. And no, I don't think it's that Bobby and I won is the reason I'm not back. That would be ridiculous. Yeah. But who knows? Again, at the end of the day, I've been given no answer other than they just couldn't pair me up this season.
Okay. So. Very interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
I was told that Kim Johnson won it and then she wasn't brought back and then she came back and she won it again.
Which I was going to ask you if this is the first time that somebody hasn't been asked back after winning.
That I don't know. Okay. I know there are people that have done it by choice.
Okay.
I don't know if there was ever anyone that wasn't asked back after winning. Who knows? I even texted some of my producers and I was like, am I difficult? Like, what is it? Is there something that I've done wrong here in my first 24 hours of trying to process this? And they were all like, we love you. You're so good at giving story. You're so easy to work with. You know how to deliver anything that we need and you bring out the best in your partner. So absolutely not, no. When I was back there for So You Think just last week with Artem, and of course some of our crew is putting together the beautiful new set that I can't wait to see actually. But I would pass them in the halls and we'd stop and have a hug and everyone expressed their sadness that I wasn't there. But just because I'm not there for the season, I'm not competing, doesn't mean that these guys are any less than my family. I will absolutely go. I will absolutely support. I can't wait to cheer them on in the audience and, you know, Hercules it up for them and just be proud of what they're doing, because regardless of being asked back or not by people in production that have an idea of what they want for the show, doesn't take away that these people I've spent so much time with are my family, and I have a lot of love for them. So yeah, I can't not be there for them.
Of course. So you say you're going to be in the ballroom. Are you going to be there premiere night?
I want to. I'm hoping to. There is something else that I may have to do.
Okay.
If I can get out in time, I will. If it's not the premiere, because I know Bobby's going and I want to be there
Exactly,
with him.
yeah.
But if I can't do that, then it will be the following week.
So you're going to be watching this season too?
Absolutely.
Takes a strong person, because we talked to Artem and he said it's going to be too hard to watch, just because of all the emotions and the frustration, and maybe that'll change for him as the season progresses.
No one's saying it's not going to be hard. You know, even walking into CBS studios or driving into the lot, there is a loss there, because it's been a part of my life for so long. But I can't be selfish about that, and I can't wallow in that. I can only look at what this show's given me for the last 8.5 years. It's given me a life I could never have imagined. It's opening up doors for me now that I could probably never have even dreamt about walking through if I hadn't have been a part of this. And so I can only say thank you and go with gratitude. Whether this is the end or not, who knows, and give some love back to it as well at the same time, you know, through the people and through supporting for it. There is no animosity from me. There's no shade. There's definitely sadness, yes, but that's normal. That's going to happen. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't sad. It'd be terrible if I wasn't sad, actually.
Of course.
And I'm sad I don't get to give the transformative power of dance to a person for that journey and create all the things. But there are other ways to create all the things.
There are. And you're doing all of them.
Yeah.
I do want to ask about your lunch with Tom.
My Tom.
What did he say to you?
We had a great catch up, and he asked me even, he's like, do you know why? Is there a reason? I was like, honestly, I've been given no reason. There's nothing that I can tell you. I've asked people, no one can give me an answer. And we were just very, very sad, and we had a little chat about some of the controversy he got caught up in a little bit there. And
well, the Sean Spicer?
Yeah.
Are you a little bit happier so you're not paired with Sean?
I would struggle.
Yeah.
I would probably struggle, especially regardless of whether you are or are not a supporter of Sean, right? Whoever is dancing with him is going to... I mean, I would be terrified to open my social media, because people are either for you or against you. And she's going to unfortunately be in that world, and she'll post a photo of him, and some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it, more so than any other partner on the show. And I think that whoever his partner is has a very, very big job ahead of them, and is going to need to be able to separate themselves from other people's opinion of this guy. I would really struggle with that. That would be really, really tough.
Do you know who his partner is?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Is she struggling a little bit?
She's not struggling at all. I think, I think all 6 of our girls could have, handled it beautifully. But she's definitely the right pick for him, in the sense that she's capable, she's talented, she's level-headed. So are all of our girls, though. I'm talking about all of them at this point. And I think that, if anyone can, she can, basically.
Yeah. I know you're very close to all the girls. Who's been the biggest support since all of this has happened?
The 3 girls that I've spoken to the most would be obviously Peter and Lindsay and Emma. We've connected quite a bit. And as soon as everything went down, I mean, a lot of people texted me, but those 3 were the ones that were just like, absolutely heartbroken, couldn't believe it. No hesitation in, oh gosh, what do I say and how do I approach it? It was just like word vomit of, I miss you and I can't believe this is happening. And that was really special. But then there's also, it's a situation where some people don't know how to approach it, because it's like they're on and you're not, and they probably feel bad about that.
Right.
And it's like, how do I say the right things? But everyone was so supportive and,
And honest. And that speaks to your guys' beautiful friendship that you've had on this show for however many seasons everyone has been on.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that you're going to be watching and you're going to be cheering them on.
I will.
Any chance that there'll be like a cameo from you, maybe? Has that been talked about?
I mean, listen, I'm down. If they do a Disney week, which they probably aren't, because I've heard they're doing no themes, but I'll just be Ariel on a rock in the background. Try and catch. I'll be like, where's Waldo? You know what I mean? Like, spot the redhead.
You were such a great Ariel.
Oh, God,
last season.
I finally got to do it. It was so good.
It was so epic.
I would love to, and I certainly wouldn't say no to it either. And if it lines up that they want me to and I can, I would love to go and do a little performance for them or choreograph a big number. I'm down to do all the things.
What a good sport.
Who knows if they'll ask? Again, that's their choice.
Yeah.
But I have actually been approached by a couple of different shows for choreography.
Well, you just did So You Think You Can Dance with Artem.
And there's 2 more shows. One was actually yesterday, which is a favourite show of mine. I can't say it yet until I'm confirmed. Okay, I don't want to say it. I don't want to put it out there until
Is it a show you've done before?
No, it's not even a dance show. It's a drama TV series.
And you're going to guest star?
No, choreograph.
You're going to choreograph. Okay.
We'll work on the guest star.
Yeah, because the acting.
That would be amazing.
You on This Is Us.
Yeah. Oh, could you? I would love that. I will definitely be in as many auditions as I possibly can be. There's a couple of different scripts of potential movies that have been sent to me, but it's all of these are maybes, and all of them could fall through, or they could all work. Who knows? That's the exciting part, you know?
That's the thing about this industry, too, that I think people don't always understand is that it's a roller coaster.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Looking back at what you have done with dancing, how do you feel about that journey?
Oh my gosh. It's been epic.
Yeah.
And I struggle to find another word for it. It's the last 8.5 years I've grown into not just a better version of myself, but my craft and my art, and discovering truly, I think this is where I understood the transformative power of dance, because it always did it for me, but being able to see that happen for other people, for Noah Galloway, for James Hinchcliffe, for Nick Carter, there were so many people that went on a journey and discovered things deep inside themselves and worked through them. Bobby Bones as well. It's been such a special thing for me to be able to give that to other people and to be able to create some of my favorite pieces on the show. Like the things that I did with Noah, the ones that people I think talk to me about the most when they see me. I was just traveling back yesterday from Portland, and I got stopped in the airport by people saying, Noah Galloway, that stuff you did with the soldier, and how that impacted people's lives. Right down to, and it's the simple things, right down to the big freestyle, but also the moment that gets brought up for me the most is a Viennese waltz when we walked up the stairs the same way, because of the way that he would have to swing his leg, and I matched him, and I thought something so simple can inspire someone and impact them and make them feel something, and wow, I got to do that for 8.5 years.
You created that moment.
Yeah.
Like, you did that. Is
Makes
that what
proud.
you will miss most?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I will miss, beyond missing my peers and everybody around me and us being in that space together, I will miss that journey of getting to know the soul inside the human in front of me, how they work, what they need me to be, what kind of coach they need me to be, and how I can take parts of their story and turn it into something inspirational for other people to witness and to watch.
Yeah.
I will get to create all the things, whether it is my own show or this or that or someone else's choreo, whatever it is, but it won't ever be that experience. That only ever lives on Dancing with the Stars. And I am, again, eternally grateful I got to do it for 8.5 years. My soul could do it for another 8.5. You never get over that.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful gift, especially when you're an artist and a creator, to be able to do things that have so much truth to them and actually have an impact on people is just, wow.
And that's why we love that show, is because of that. What do you make of all the changes?
There are a lot of changes. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited about seeing the ballroom. I've heard it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Some of the dancers have said it is absolutely stunning. That really makes me excited. It was time to change up the vibe in there. We've had very much the same vibe for a while.
The skybox and
And so whatever it is, I cannot wait to discover that. What are all the changes that you know? Like, I know there's no themes.
Yeah, I know that they've got rid of the themes. I think it's a different band.
Oh.
Like different musical direction that we're going in.
That's interesting. I loved our band.
Yeah, so there's some changes.
I think
there's no troupe. But there will be like group dances of some sort. I
think having no troupe is a real shame. But I also understand where people were coming from, that kind of every dance was looking like a freestyle. Let's be real. Like, look how big I had to go Bobby's freestyle to make it look like a freestyle, because I had every man and his dog in our number every week.
Right.
Because it's just what we needed.
Yes.
But I understand that sometimes that needs to be stripped back so you can just focus on them learning this cha-cha and the dance and not have so much going on around it. So I do respect that. And I think that is exciting because now our viewers, their viewers, will see the show. So weird to get used to. They will see the show build and build and build instead of just being so big all at once. And that's important.
Sure.
I think not having a most memorable year theme, I mean, obviously I'm going to say that's a terrible mistake because it's my favorite week. But, you know, maybe it was just a little too much for some people. They felt it was a little too soppy, a little too sad. Who knows?
Come on, it's Dancing with the Stars, people.
We're here to inspire people.
Yes.
And honestly, that's all I really know of it, to be honest. I know directions on costumes has changed a little bit. I know a lot of things in the production office that have changed. But I don't know what effect that will have on camera for the actual live show.
Sure.
That's just sort of the workings behind it.
You were a judge on Dancing with the Stars, Australia.
I was.
Do you feel like maybe this decision was made because they have an intention of making you a judge perhaps next season? Do you think?
A judge here?
Yeah. Is that a no?
I'll take it. Heck yes. I mean, let's put that into the universe. Let's put that into the universe. I'm going to be a judge on season 29 of Dance with the Stars. No, I did not get that vibe.
Okay.
But I certainly would love to be a part of that panel and that team. I mean, for me, what I loved so much about judging in Australia was after all these years of doing the show and all of the knowledge that I have of ballroom dancing, I was a 10 dance champion, went to the World Championships for it, you know, I got to give back in a completely different way. I got to see these new pros in Australia that are so unbelievably talented but haven't learned all the little tricks of the trade that we've learned on how to fix things and what you need to focus on, where to prioritize your teaching. And so I got to nurture and inspire in a completely different way. And at the end of the day, I'm also a technician, so I can be tough. And as any of my partners, I'm a tough coach. So I demand a high standard, but I also have empathy for everything that you've gone through in the week. And I never wanted to be that judge that had them stand in front of me at the end of a dance. They're exhausted. Maybe it was awful, but they're exhausted. And they just probably put 45 hours of their week into this. No one wants to feel like they've had no validation for that. No one wants to feel like it was for absolutely nothing. I wanted to let them know I appreciated what they did. Then I could see what they tried to do, but this was where it needed to go. I loved judging. I could judge. I would judge more than just a dance show. I'd make any talent show. I love seeing people get out there and express and do.
Well, we've seen Julianne become
AGT.
And Derek as well.
Yeah.
So is that something that you maybe have your eyes on?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, not AGT because Jules is phenomenal at that, but as something like it, yes, absolutely. I feel so at home. I mean, obviously I can talk for days. I don't ever shut up, but I love that, and I love creativity, and I love performance. I love live television. And if I can be a part of it in that capacity, that would, to me, would feel like an epic next step.
Yeah. Of course. I know you said that they didn't really give you a reason, just that they didn't have a partner. Yeah. I do have a theory.
Okay.
I think maybe you were becoming too big. You had too many fans. What do you think of this theory?
I think you just stroked my ego and that felt wonderful.
I'm not the only one with this theory, though.
I think, well, then I challenge that with saying, what about Val? You know what I mean? I think Val equally has his fan base and is a known name on the show. And also any of them, really. But Val and I think have been around the longest other than Cheryl. And also I challenge you that with Cheryl. So whilst that feels really good to me right about here and strokes my ego and makes me want to smile, I think wonderful, but probably not.
Okay. And then we don't think it's budget either.
Can't be budget. No. I was on par with people, definitely not the most expensive, and certainly not by an amount that would break the show if they kept me.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
I want to go back to working with Artem.
Okay.
Because the choreography I watched, the routine, it was so beautiful.
So good.
How was it working with him in that different capacity?
It was actually great to work with him. So I pieced out for 10 days, went to Burning Man, had absolutely no reception, was Kundalini yogaing it up at 6 o'clock in the mornings and not paying attention to anything, where when I left the playa and I saw Artem's interview, it really broke my heart how brokenhearted he was. And I knew he was sad we were being there for each other, but he was struggling with the healing process and the processing of it. But when we got to work with each other for So You Think You Can Dance, he was definitely a bit more pep in his step, ready and recharged to do and create and move into other things.
Yeah.
And he, myself, and another person are actually building a show concept to pitch a live show, which I can't say these things yet. They're so new, but it's a very new concept.
Okay.
It's
you and Artem both.
Yeah,
Okay.
Artem and I are putting it together to both be in it, but also produce it. We're working with a great team right now and putting it together, and it's super, super exciting.
Yeah.
It's just something different and wild and creative and
Dance related.
Dance and acting related. It's
Dance
a show,
and acting.
but
Okay.
a live show. But that should be really fun. And creating with him for So You Think You Can Dance. Artem and I have always danced very well together. There are people that just move with an energy that you connect to, and Artem is one of them. He can take up frame with me, and I don't even need to know the steps. He can lead me around that floor into anything. Honestly, that's how half of our dances on tour came together. Summertime and Lovey on Rose was just him doing things, and then
You
me
guys
just following.
work
and
really
then
well
we're like,
together.
keep that, change that. We do.
Yeah.
We have a really wonderful friendship, a great creativity together, and we really balance each other out in a creative space. He's so like smooth and suave, and like when guys learn from him, they're like, he's sexy Jesus. I just want to be like Artem, you know what I mean? And then I'm in a little bit more of a drill sergeant, and I keep it going, but I've got the energy, and we make a great team.
Yeah.
And I loved that. And So You Think was really happy with us, and hopefully they'll have us back next season.
I was going to say, could there be a place on that judging panel?
On So You Think. They did just get Lorianne, who I think is wonderful, and they do have their panel, and they have Mary, who is the ballroom expert.
Yeah.
But again, I would love that.
Yeah.
Being a part of a show like that show gives you the tingles.
Yeah.
Sitting in the audience and watching these kids just dance for their life is really something special.
Beautiful. How is Artem?
He's doing good.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's so happy and in love right now. Look at him.
You like him and Nikki together?
I love them. I'm obsessed with them together.
Yeah.
I am so happy that they've found their way to each other, and seeing the love between them and how just beautiful and genuine and open they are about it, I think is a really nice thing for Artem too. He's not necessarily been the most open person on social media. She's really bringing other things out of him, and he's sharing himself more with everyone, which is really important if you want to be in this world.
Yes.
She's bringing things out of him that I think weren't there before, and she's certainly his greatest champion right now and supporting him through those hard times, and I think she's probably a big key part in what has got him through it. And
I love how outspoken she's been.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I think she's always very much been that person and that woman, and I love that about her so much, and I think it's probably showing him that he can have that too. And that's why, even though his interview was definitely heartbroken, I was actually really proud of him. I was really proud of him for being able to say those things and be okay with it, coming from someone that doesn't say a bad word about anybody, but to honestly speak about his heartbreak and the truth of how it went down.
He spoke his mind.
He spoke his mind,
Yeah.
and no one can be in trouble for that. You can only be respected for that, in my opinion. So I was really proud of him, and I think he's doing great, and I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah. He did say he thinks that contracts for the dancers should be different, so that you aren't finding out you're not on the show a few days beforehand. Do you feel the same?
There is actually a clause in our contract that gives them a deadline date of when they have to let us know by, and I think it did get passed.
Oh, so they violated.
I think it did go, and don't quote me on it necessarily.
Yeah.
I can't remember the official date, whether it was from the first performance date or the first rehearsal date. I don't know.
Okay.
So they might have still been in the clear, because essentially from the first performance date it was still like 3 weeks.
Okay.
But yes, I do agree. I do agree with that, because regardless of Artem and I, season to season, everybody on that show has no idea if they have a job until they get the pickup letter. Pair that with the exclusivity that's in the contract, it makes it very, very difficult for you to work if you are not brought back and if you haven't lined things up. And right now, pretty much everything's already booked for the end of the year, because it's already been done, whatever. You can book things long term, but finding things short term, it becomes a little bit more difficult, and I'm so grateful for what's been coming to me. But I do agree with that that is a very tough contract
Yeah.
for people that have mortgages and babies and lives to exist with.
Yeah.
And it would be fair if they were to let the dancers know months ahead of time.
So that you could go and pursue other jobs and opportunities. And
I mean, they do that on the English one. They know months ahead of time because they're also prepping things, but their season airs around the same time as us, but they know back in June.
Wow.
I think it is, whether they're back or not. And they are only year-to-year contracts, but they know months ahead of time if they are going to be back. And that, I think, is a much more respectful way of doing it.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, do you have a message to your fans?
Oh, I'll get emotional if I say it,
they're
though.
just so supportive of you, and they love you so much.
Hi. I'm going to get emotional saying these things. Thank you so much for all of the love and the support and the words of how much you miss me, and you're defending me like my champions with how, if you feel it's unjust. But what I do want to say to you is that it is all love and it's all gratitude. And we got a beautiful 8.5 years of me being on this incredible show and getting to create, and no one has ever said that it's the end. And whether it is that I come back and do another season or not, I'm always going to be putting things out there for you guys. I love and appreciate you all so much. You're in my heart. I have a vested interest in you all, and I'm trying to create things for you and to help affect change in this world, especially for women. And that's all things that are coming, but it was all inspired by you guys. And thank you. And even though it hurts and I'm sad to be gone and it's a sore point, feeling the love and the energy from all of you certainly does help and does make it feel better. So thank you, and I love you.